Everybody's got a hot take. Everybody's got a reason. Every Saturday, it's debate season. 3 fans, 3 rivals, 1 microphone. If you're talking college football, you're already home. Cam, Mason, Preston. This Saturday, Rivals! The Saturday Rivals!
Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Cam, Mason, and Preston with the inaugural episode of the Saturday Rivals. Guys, how is it going?
Oh, it's good to be back. Oh, I missed you. And Preston, it's nice to
Oh, I
meet you.
missed you. I missed you too.
I'm happy. I'm happy to join the group, man. I'm happy to join the group.
Listen, it's been a couple years since Mason and I have been on the airways here on Spotify and all the things under a different name. But we rebranded, obviously. We got our third with Preston here, and we're just 3 dudes hanging out, talking football and whatever else. So it's going to be a great time, and I'm looking forward to this new journey with you guys. It's going to be awesome. And so, there's a lot to talk about. It's talking season. SEC Media Days was last week. Big Ten Media Days happened this week, and we'll get into all that bullcrap that happened today. Also, follow us on socials. We'll have our link tree linked in the description below on YouTube, as well as on Spotify. All our social, we're on basically everything. Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. So go ahead and follow us there. We'll have all of our clips and everything up there. So it's going to be awesome. We're going to have fun hanging out. So let's start here. Preston, are you excited to be here?
I am most definitely excited to be here. Excited to dive in to SEC Media Days. You know I have an opinion on what Coach Summerall had to say, so I'm sure we're going to get into that. Don't even do that right now. Anyway, but yeah, I'm super excited. I'm excited for what the season's going to bring forth, because every year is different. Every year is just as insane as the last. And so, yeah, I'm excited, man.
Yeah, he's super excited for a 6-6 season with a bowl win, probably. So looking forward to that for the Florida Gators again this year.
He who shall not be named is at James Madison now. We have moved on, okay? So we're good. All right, we're good.
One of them's over in Vegas still, old Dan Mullen.
Don't.
Listen, we'll get into that soon. We'll get into the trauma here soon, Preston, okay?
That name brings back some bad memories, all right? Don't do it.
Mason, how are we feeling? You're pumped to be back. Listen, guys, if you're watching on video, you'll notice Mason has upgraded. He's got the over-ear headphones and an actual microphone. No longer wearing the cheapo buds with the little crappy mic on it. We've upgraded Mason. How are we feeling?
I don't even know how to respond to that. The first thing I really want to say is adding Preston to this dynamic, him being a Florida fan, it really changes some stuff for us. Especially you, Cam, specifically, because you like to crap on Florida.
Yeah, I do.
So it brings some sanity to the room, right?
I don't know if I would say sanity.
Bring some sanity. Well, there will be plenty of those. There will be plenty of those.
Mason, you should know that I don't have problem talking about people to their face when it comes to this stuff. I do it to you all the time.
No, you
don't. So it's great. I'm not talking to you, Preston. All right.
I know you're not talking to me. I'm just agreeing.
I did notice the lack of shoes in Preston's video cam right now. So I don't know if he's tossed any.
It's either that or is he wearing jorts? Preston, can you or can you not confirm you're wearing jorts?
I'm not wearing jorts. I could wear jorts.
Allegedly.
And nobody would know. So maybe one day I'll do it. I'll do it next week. Why not? Why not?
Oh wait, okay. Hold on. I'm gonna slide us right into Media Days real quick with a quick question. Cam, are you pro pedicures or what?
Listen, I'm okay with pedicures. I've never gotten one. I'd like to get one maybe someday, but I don't know. Listen, if it's good enough for John Summerall, maybe it's good enough for me. It should definitely be good enough for Preston. He's probably already got his. He probably already got his appointment lined up. Probably. Listen, he says he has to work at Chick-fil-A in the morning. Honestly, guys, it's probably just the cover for him to go get his pedicure done.
I got my mani pedi is scheduled for 7:30. I gotta make my way down to Vestavia, so don't you worry.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Listen, already off the rails. This is perfect. This is what we want to tune in for. So listen. Let's start with SEC Media Days. Obviously, the big thing that everybody was talking about. Greg Sankey said that they're gonna break off and do their own thing or whatever nonsense people were trying to talk about. The hot take. Also, kind of talked about the College Sports Act, everything else. General thoughts, Greg Sankey, or anything else at Media Days that happened this past week.
I'm going to go ahead and rip this off and tell you that I was at the beach, completely and utterly checked out. I took our company credit card, and I used my PTO up already, so I'm kind of locked into this podcast for the rest of the year.
Man, got to vacation with the company card? What's that like, man?
It was nice. I think it was actually your credit card connected to your name.
That makes a lot of sense now.
You see some sketchy charges.
That's why I have a meeting tomorrow morning whenever I get into the office. Thanks a lot, Mason. Appreciate it. I know. Yeah, you probably went to Roost Chris like every night, or some other seafood steakhouse every night. Twice a night. It's fine. Preston, what did we think about Media Days last week?
Yeah. So I'm kind of similar to Mason. I wasn't at the beach, but I was a little tuned out. I watched just some tidbits of it today. The comment on breaking away from the NCAA was very interesting. I'll say that. Like he could have easily shut that down if he wanted to, and he didn't. So will they break away from the NCAA? I don't know, but the fact that they're entertaining it, like obviously it's been the SEC and the Big Ten who have been entertaining this since the Protect College Sports Act has kind of been, thrown around Congress. But I really don't know what to think about it, to be honest. It's just all kind of up in the air at this point, it seems.
Listen, it's just a bargaining chip. That's all it is.
It is. It really is.
Sports Act.
He didn't say that, but it's easy to tell that he wants leverage when it comes to this, and that's what he's getting. So, the SEC and the Big Ten are already the power two in college football, so it's not very surprising that they're trying to get their way when it comes to this.
Yeah, but the question is, what are they trying to get leverage for? More spots in the playoffs?
Maybe. No, I don't think it's a playoff.
Maybe.
I think it's more they're wanting to get their way on this bill. Like, there are certain things that the SEC as a conference doesn't like in the bill when it comes to, probably salary cap stuff and an NIL cap and
because then Texas can't pay everybody $50 million a year. That just can't happen anymore with the salary cap. So
yeah, it's that, and as well as they don't like the language where they feel like the SEC and the Big Ten are singled out when it comes to the whole expansion thing. That's all that they have really publicly said. There's probably other things in this bill. It's the government, so it's huge, and nobody ever reads everything and knows what everything is. But that's what it is, and it's if you guys don't come to the table and fix and do the changes that we want, then obviously we're going to do everything we can to make sure the bill fails. And because the bill fails, then we're going to go do whatever we want. But I think everybody was taking that as, we're just going to completely separate and make our own league. Whereas Greg Sankey, I think later on in the week tried to clarify, no, it's probably more rules based and enforcing their own rules and not having the NCAA be the enforcement arm for them. But you know what? Here's what's going to happen is that they're going to try and enforce rules after they break away, and then Texas A&M is going to pull a Texas Tech and sue the SEC conference to get Marcel Reed probably a 7th year to go 8-4 again. So it is what it is, right? It's just until there's actual rules set in place from a governmental standpoint, whether they break away or not, nothing's going to change in that aspect.
Well, Congress is coming in and trying to clean up the NCAA's mess from the past, 5 years at this point, it seems like, or more. So I'm not all that shocked that the SEC and the Big Ten are the two conferences that seemingly have a problem with this when it comes to the language of the bill. That's not very shocking at all to me. What I like about the bill personally, I kind of brought this up before we started recording, but just the idea of pooling the media rights together. Right, so the NFL does that where they pool the media rights together, you could have Kansas City playing on CBS one day, and then the next week they're playing on NBC. So I think that overall would be good for college football. And I think, getting rid of the, SEC on ESPN, and then, the Big Ten on Fox, and all these, sort of media rights deals that these conferences alone have. We could see the SEC on CBS, and then we could see the Big Ten on NBC, or the SEC on NBC even. So I think that would be good overall. But then the Big Ten and the SEC have to spend more money, and then they don't want to do that. And then they don't get their way when it comes to a lot of these things anymore that they're used to, which I think is a big reason why they have such an issue with the bill, because they've tried to do this before several times and it hasn't gone through Congress because the SEC has had an issue with it. So,
yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing, and the provision in the bill is it's an optional thing to where like the SEC and the Big Ten have to agree to pool rights, or at least additional, like not the whole conference, but additional team, like some teams in each have to agree to pool rights for that to happen. And, like, that's just never going to happen. Like, the Big Ten and the SEC aren't going to give up their giant cash cow. Because at the end of the day, like, some people have said, oh, well, like, they'll just get way more money if they pool the rights together. Like, the money amount that you see, like, oh, college football has, like, a $20 billion or whatever crazy number you want to put out. They have a $20 billion media rights deal. When in reality, like, yeah, there's that much, but there are way more pieces of the pie that are getting that cut. And so, like, the amount of money that, like, Alabama and LSU and Florida and Ohio State are going to get out of that when you pull it is going to be way smaller than, like, what they have now set up with their own conference media right deals.
Yeah.
So, like,
and
I
think
just
that's
think,
the
like,
thing.
I just think that's
the
just
thing,
not
for
going to
sure.
be something that happens. But, like, one, like, there's a ton of issues with the college football playoff and the people that run it. And one of the things, like, everybody is talking about, especially in the SEC, a lot of people are talking about, like, the selection process, which, like, is broken, and it's always been broken. And we should just go back to the BCS formula to rank the teams so everybody knows what we're basing it off of. But, like, the other thing is, like, the executives had the chance recently when they expanded to 12 of having the media rights for the playoff be like it is for the NFL, of like, oh, hey, like, we'll have like round 1 games at Fox and round 2 games, or some of them here on NBC and some of them here on CBS, and then like the championship games on ABC or ESPN. Like, they had the chance to do that and have like each big network take a chunk and promote that, so that it doesn't feel like everything is just ESPN. And that you then have the conspiracy theorists of Florida State fans being like, oh, ESPN didn't want Florida State in the playoff, so, like, they got the CFP to do it. Or whatever team you want. Like, you take that out of the equation when you spread it across multiple networks like the NFL or any other real sports organization does. But instead, they doubled down, stayed with ESPN, and then ESPN, like, leases out games basically to, like, TNT. Which doesn't really mean anything. Like, it's the same people at ESPN that are just broadcasting it on TNT. Congratulations. So, like, they had their chance to do that with that portion, and we couldn't even do that there. So, like, it's just, the media thing is just a non-starter for me. Like, I don't care. Like, that stuff doesn't matter to me, honestly. It's the, hey, we at least, if, like, the NCAA is going to be able to make rules and enforce rules, then, like, we got to let them have it and not have this bullcrap of, hey, I'm going to sue the NCAA to get Trinidad Chambliss another year. I'm going to sue the NCAA to let Brandon Sorsby be able to play even after he illegally, like, gambled on his own team multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just going to sue because I'm going to win.
Basically, you're supposed to get the death penalty in college football for that, and yet he got suspended for 2 games. So, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like, I think that was a thing for all of the conferences, like, especially the Big Ten and the SEC when it came to, like, using the bargaining chip of, oh, we'll just break away. Like, they could have used that bargaining chip whatever, but because the Texas Tech thing happened, I think because what happened there then caused them to be, oh, we either need to do something ourselves or we need to threaten that so we can get this bill passed and get the changes we want for this bill to pass so we can actually have an enforcement arm that enforces things. But the other issue is, like, the commissioners of these conferences answer to the presidents of the university. And the presidents of the university appointed the NCAA to enforce rules. And now, when you're Ole Miss or you're Texas Tech or your LSU, which could have happened in basketball this coming year, when it comes to eligibility stuff or anything like that, when it comes to, hey, it's my team and it's my university or it's my thing, you don't just take it on the chin. No, we're going to sue and get our guy eligible. Like, hey, we're going to talk and cry and whine about, hey, we need rules and all this kind of stuff, but as soon as the rules apply to you, it's, you know what, no, screw that, we're going to do what everybody else does, and we're going to be cowards. And we're just going to look at the bottom line just for this year and not for the betterment of the sport. And we're going to sue and get our way because we know we're going to win.
That was the thing with Texas Tech for sure, I think, was just the idea of, okay, well, we need all these rules and we need this enforcement. And, you know, you have the SEC over here that's just like supposed to be this power conference. And then yet with the whole Brendan Sorsby situation, we have a 20-minute sob story basically posted on YouTube of the Texas Tech, you know, administration saying, you know, he needs this, you know, he needs to participate. Like the language that the judge used, like he would be missing out on, you know, very important participation when it comes to like weights and practice and the games that he's going to be able to attend and the camaraderie. And it's like, yeah, that's called consequences. So it doesn't matter if he's missing out on any of these things because he did something stupid. So the fact that we're sitting here arguing about, oh, well, he only gambled because he has an addiction. Well, then why are you throwing him right back in the environment that he had the addiction start? So I don't get it one bit, but you're right. I mean, shoot, these presidents are going to do what's best for their schools and for their team. I wouldn't, you know, be surprised if by tomorrow Florida, you know, had an issue with like Jaden Ball per se, and they went to court for it because that's going to be one of the best running backs in the country next year, and you need him to win. So it would not shock me in the least. But, yeah, I agree.
But what does an enforcement office even look like at this point? Because that's what the NCAA was supposed to be, and obviously they got shot in the foot.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, that's why you got Congress involved.
Yeah, so I think with the bill, it actually gives the teeth back to the NCAA to where you can like I think they get like the antitrust exemption basically to where like all of these lawsuits are happening and are winning for these players is because like it's like antitrust or something like that they win, whereas the bill kind of fixes that problem in a sense to where like, hey, if you sue, like you're going to lose because of what the bill represents. It's either that or like I don't know if it creates a different like arm organization somewhere. That's kind of where maybe you get into the weeds of the bill. But I mean, from everything that I'm reading, even the first time that I heard, I'm like, yeah, this needs to pass. Like, everybody that has complained, I mean, how many people, and this is for everybody, like, how many people have you heard just in day-to-day life over the past couple years say, oh, I just don't follow football anymore, like, college football anymore because of, like, NIL or because, like, there's no rules or because of X, Y, and Z. Like, obviously the numbers and the ratings aren't there, but, like, at least the passion level for, like, a lot of everyday people is no longer there as it was. Like, it's never going to be as it was, but I think a lot of the things of the bill that it, like, targets or talks about will kind of help bring some stability in. Yeah. Because, like, the transfer portal stuff, and it's like, you only get 5 years to play 5, and all this kind of other stuff that kind of helps with the mess that all of these grown adults screwed up 5, 6, 7 years ago when all these things were in motion. Like, some of this helps, and so, like, I think it's kind of, like, if it passes, which I think it does, Josh Pate thinks it does, he called it first time that it came out that he thinks it's going to pass. Well, we'll see. I think Russ Dillinger posted tonight, Tuesday night, that the two big conferences, so the SEC and Big Ten, got, like, language on some changes that happened today, and they have, like, a deadline of tomorrow morning to give feedback or to, like, to be on board, and there's hope that maybe, like, I think the Senate recesses next Friday, and so the hope is to maybe get a vote on it next week. But who knows? I
think either way it'll pass. I don't see, because the idea that you have, like, what was it? Ted Cruz is on the bill or endorsing it, and then there's somebody else, like somebody on the Democrat side who's also endorsing it. So it's a bipartisan thing. But then, like, to Nick Saban's point when he said what he said about it. It shouldn't be bipartisan. It should just be nonpartisan. Like, this should just be for the betterment of college football, in the fact that we need stability, we need structure, because there isn't any. It's been the Wild West for 5 years, and nobody knows what's going on half the time. So you need this bill to pass to just, like you said, give us something to go by, give us some structure that the NCAA has failed to produce.
Okay, let's pull out an example real quick, because earlier today, okay, so right now my big problem with what NIL is doing is the fact that there's really it's a wild, wild west. I mean, everybody's saying that.
Yeah.
So you can sit there and offer a kid X amount of dollars. He plays for a year. Next year, you're screwed. You lose all that. He transfers. He goes somewhere else, right? I mean, even today, Ole Miss it came out earlier, I think it was Nakos tweeted it, that Ole Miss is filing a lawsuit against 2 players that transferred to LSU, and they're trying to get that buyout money back. So when you're sitting there, like, that's where my problem is. It's like, okay, are we going to put some more rules around NIL? Are we going to put contracts in? Are we going to start doing that? Like, how does the NCAA attack the real problems when it comes to NIL and the transfer portal?
So the bill has a rule on the transfer portal to where you get 1 free transfer, and then it goes back to, if you transfer again, you have to sit. So it's like the old transfer rule, with the exception of, if your coach leaves, then you get to transfer for free. So it's what you and I were talking and saying that it should be. So there's that rule for sure. And like, I think the whole like buyout thing, like, here's kind of the problem with the whole buyout thing is, like, are we legitimately signing NIL contracts that are multi-year? And none of us knows, because none of this is public information. Like, none of us knows. So, like, if you're signing multi-year deals, then, like, okay, yeah, there should definitely be a buyout like coaches. There should be. And I have no problem with that. Like, you want your money back? You want your buyout money back? Okay, like, send the buyout money back. I don't care. Like, whatever. It's the same thing as coaches. It should be the same. But if you're, like, you're just signing 1-year contracts, like, which I think is what is happening and should be happening, because, like, scholarships were technically only 1 year every year. You had to get a scholarship every year. But, yeah, I mean, the issue is, like, how are you structuring your contracts? And is the buyout, like, example, the Washington quarterback that was got into the transfer portal, everybody was talking about, hey, they're probably going to LSU, and then he gets back out of the portal because of the buyout rule that the Big Ten put in place. And, like, okay, like, yeah, that should obviously be a deterrent. Like, the more that these, even before the Senate bill passes, if it passes, whatever, the more buyout incentives or things that we set up to, like, keep people from just hopping in the portal every year is going to be good. But the other thing is, like, hey, you're getting all these transfers in. How much are you really willing to spend to do a multi-year contract with some of these players? Like, everybody likes to talk about transfer players as like their for sure thing. There are so many players that transfer every single year for all teams that don't ever work
Florida
out.
State and Mike Norvell how that works out when you rely on the transfer portal every year to build your team. It doesn't work very well.
Right. I mean, like, there are tons of players that hop in the portal and that you get that you think is going to be the real deal, and they're not. And do you want to be stuck in a multi-year deal with a huge buyout or huge guaranteed money? So, like, obviously that's something for, like, these teams and these GMs that there's GMs now in college football, which is weird. But these GMs and coaches,
I don't even know
80s,
how to approach that at all.
and like, that's something they have to figure out and decide. But, like, yeah, I think the whole buyout thing makes sense. But I also think in this situation, Ole Miss is just being petty. But you know what? It is what it is.
I mean, I think for sure the pettiness plays into it because, you know, there was a certain somebody.
Oh, it absolutely plays.
Who left?
Again?
I don't know.
They're just jealous. They're just listen. They're upset because they're going back to being the runt because they have Pete Golding as their head coach. So it just is what it is. You know
Kiffin?
what?
I think the name was Kiffin. I don't know.
Hey, listen, Preston. Do you remember when you were at my house?
A guy named Lane Kiffin. So, I remember.
Do you remember when you were at my house when the news broke
when Brian Kelly got fired?
And I immediately said, "Oh, we're getting Kiffin," and you said, "No, we deserve to have nice things too."
You know, because
how's that working out for you, buddy?
What I knew. Look, I like John Summerall, all right? But yes, would I be lying if I said I didn't want Lane Kiffin? Absolutely. I'm lying through my teeth if I said I didn't want Lane Kiffin, Okay.
Listen, everybody
But-
wants Lane Kiffin. Bama people were saying to fire DeBoer to get Lane Kiffin. All right,
No,
But-
no.
but-
Don't
but-
bring the rednecks in here. Get the rednecks out.
But
No.
I remember when
I
Brian
want
Kelly
Kiffin's
got fired.
cornerback, man.
When Brian Kelly got fired, I remember sitting there thinking, I was like, LSU is literally the only job that could have possibly opened up that scares me. That is the only one. Because I knew if LSU doesn't open, we have him. There's no way he stays at Ole Miss either way. But when LSU opened up, I was like, dadgummit. I was like, we might not get him.
Let's also listen, guys. Let's just give a round of applause real quick to Marty Smith. All right, for his coverage. All right, have you guys heard? You guys had to have heard the story of him like going and getting the interview on the tarmac, right? Have y'all
Running
heard
to the
that story?
tarmac. Yes. Like, freaking
Guys,
speeding
any
over
listener
the
that has
tarmac,
not heard
crazy.
this story from Marty Smith, you need to go on YouTube and you need to find it. It was like literally one of the best things ever that you've ever heard. Dude's a national treasure, so shout out to him. So
That whole interview on the tarmac and seeing the videos of like Charlie Weiss Jr. walking to the airplane, and it's like, F you, Charlie, F you. And I'm like, what is going on right now in Oxford, Mississippi? Like, what is this?
brother, they were singing his praises like all of December and like half of January.
Yeah. Yeah.
That game is gonna be psychotic. Week 3.
It's going to be
can't get
worse
fast
than
enough.
Tennessee was a few years ago, if y'all remember that.
Listen, it's
more
gonna
than
be
mustard
to the
bottles that are going to
level.
be thrown. It's going to be bad.
It's gonna get close to the level, if not worse, than Nick's first game back to Baton Rouge in 2000.
I think it's gonna be worse.
It's gonna be much
2008,
worse.
I think it was.
The fact that
Like-
it's in Oxford is what makes it worse. It's going to be a freaking reckoning when he walks through that freaking stadium.
Didn't they already
It's going to be
announce it was a
horrible.
night game too?
Oh yeah, it's a night game.
I mean, why would it not
they're
be?
gonna be
It's
out
not
Night
wants to
game.
make money.
Game day's already gonna be there.
Game
like, all
day's
the nine
already
yards. Literally
announced, yeah.
everything.
I mean, it's literally going to be, if not the game of the year, it's a contender for the game of the year for sure. Like already. There's no way
It's
it's
the game
not.
of the year for the lead up, and then we're gonna dominate them. So it's gonna be no big deal.
All
Called it
right.
here first.
All right. Let's see how that comes back to bite you in the rear later on, but we'll find out.
Listen, a buddy of mine was trying to ask me to get me to go to the game. He's like, "Cam, we gotta go." I was like,
That's
I
gonna be
was
like,
like,
no.
I'm interested in going, but I also don't want to get shot while I'm there. Okay,
You have
or
$2,000
some.
to spare.
I don't want
Dude,
to like have
hey,
some
the
frat
tailgating
boy
at the
come up and
Grove
try
is
and
nice,
like
though,
check
man.
me. Like I just
The
don't.
tailgating might be
I
nice.
don't care about the dump. I don't care. But then I looked at ticket prices. This is like back in like I think it was like in the spring. Like I don't even know if spring practice.
I
for
haven't
LSU
even
even
looked at
started
ticket
yet.
prices. I just know they're
It was
crazy.
like
Don't tell me.
It's
No,
like
no,
the
no, no, no,
outer.
no, don't tell me. Let me guess. You're looking outer bowl.
Yeah, outer bowl, like nosebleeds.
I'm gonna say right now
yeah.
it's gonna be like 350 plus.
I would say
Go a lot
Yeah,
higher.
you're nowhere close, Preston.
Nowhere
I'd
close?
probably say
Okay.
8. I'd say 800. Probably the cheapest.
800
you find
for the
a couple
freaking
months.
upper
ago.
Maybe
bowl?
800. I think one of the cheap, like some of the cheaper ones are like close to $1,000 each.
Oh yeah, dude. And that was a couple months ago. They're probably insane
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, because everybody knows
Anybody
It's
who's paying
free tickets.
$800 to
crazy.
sit in the upper bowl of that game. Okay, bro.
Somebody
y'all
who
have at
has
it.
Just
season
going to hate.
tickets.
I'm watching on
Somebody
TV.
who has season
I'm not
tickets. Somebody who has season tickets in that high school stadium is going to be making all of their money back from what they paid for their season tickets just by selling this one ticket. That's it. Like
you
there's
go.
that, maybe for 2 years. All right.
I mean, you're probably not wrong.
Listen, I know they don't like they can't have too many because it's so small, but like they have their base. So
They've gone through
Oh
enough,
man.
kid.
Oh, Vaught Hemingway.
no, they haven't gone through enough yet.
They haven't gone through enough.
Not yet.
Okay,
They
now
went
you-
through
back to
Hugh
this.
Freeze.
Why do you hate
Okay.
Ole Miss fans?
Why do I hate Ole Miss fans?
Yeah,
Why not?
I don't know. That's what I'm
Just why
asking.
not? I don't
Why-
care.
why not?
Listen,
Why not,
listen.
man?
They're just trying to be pissy. They think they're better than what they are. They think they're God's blessing to college football right now because of how good they've been recently, and they just have
mean-
this scorned girlfriend thing that's going on right now. And you know what? Like I'm okay being the guy that has to put them in their place, and so like I'm enjoying my time. It's gonna be great.
All I know is I'm gonna have fun watching that game. I could really care less about the feelings on either side, but I've moved on from all of that as a Florida fan. I know LSU fans and Ole Miss fans probably still talk about it. I don't care. But
listen, it's
yeah,
one of those
I'm
things where like
definitely
LSU doesn't have like the big traditional rivals that like Alabama and Florida have. Like Alabama has Auburn and Florida has Florida State and Miami. Like we don't really have that. So like Ole Miss is one of our old longtime rivals that hasn't really been relevant hardly ever. And so this kind of gives the relevance back to that. Like, depending on the generation of LSU fan that you ask, who is your biggest rival, you're going to get a different answer. If it's like the super old people, they're going to say Ole Miss. If it's going to be kind of like people around my age, like they're going to say like maybe Florida or Alabama, especially like back maybe in the early 2000s, like mid 2000s, like maybe say Auburn. Like you're going to get a different answer. So, but like Ole Miss is one of the old historical ones, so it's like it's just kind of revved back up a little bit with that. So you know what, I'm here for it.
How do you actually feel about that?
Feel about what?
Like not having a legitimate rival.
I look at it as everybody hates us and we hate everybody, so like it's fine.
I mean, to be fair,
I
that's true.
I don't care.
So
everybody hates LSU fans. You talk to anybody, you go to anybody in the South, and they're like, oh LSU. I'm like, yeah, screw you too. Like I don't care.
I'm not allowed to publicly hate LSU anymore.
I mean, you are
privately,
but
though.
you might just listen. You and I understand this, though, Mason. Okay, we're just on the different ends of the spectrum. Okay, like
opposite,
we complete opposite ends of the spectrum. You know, you made it married into the greatness that is an LSU wife. Okay, listen, you did that, and I had to take one for the team, and you know what? I married the fallen Alabama fan, but like. It's like we understand. Listen, I'll ask you this: do you have the same rule as Courtney and I, Mason, where you're not allowed to watch the game together?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Well, so I don't know if I ever actually told you this story. So 2019 rolls around, right? You got
the greatest season ever.
Denny. You beat LSU beats Alabama. Of course, after the game, they start going crazy. They're doing their thing. Coach O's sitting there saying he's going to kick everybody's ass at the end of it. They're dancing on the field. They're doing all their stuff right. Of course, you know. As somebody whose team just lost, I wasn't feeling very great. But I took it on the chin like a champ. Okay.
Sure you did.
2020 rolls around, and I am feeling myself. Okay, because it was like Alabama was killing everybody. LSU was on the struggle bus. So me and Becca, we were sitting there. We went to go get lunch, or we were going to get food or something. And I was sitting there. I was like, I hope we just kill you guys. Yada. Like I just started talking. And brother,
I can't imagine.
Reamed me. And she started going off on me. And then I kid you not, we didn't talk for about 2 days after that. And then after that, I was like, I get it. Okay, I took it too far. And then since then, clean as a whistle.
Okay, you learned your lesson, huh? So what happened?
Real quick, actually. Dude, talk about brutal.
That's the greatest thing ever. See, on the opposite side of that, okay, it's me 2019, okay? And you know what? I'm smoking a cigar outside and everything. Like, first thing is first, I'm trying to find my cigar while my parents and my sister call me on the phone. So, like, we had this rule before then. We had a rule, like, hey, we are not watching this game together. We're not watching it. Like, we tried it. We tried it twice, okay? Both times when we did it once when we were dating, and once when we were married. I think we were engaged and married. So the first time that we watched it, it was it would have been 2017. It was at Bama, and Courtney like invited me to her parents' house. So I watched it at the parents' house, and like I knew we had no chance. It was like, you know, Coach O's first full season, Matt Canada as the OC. Like, honestly, if we hit a couple of the shot plays, we could have like actually won the game and done well, but like I knew we weren't going to win. So, like, it just kind of sucked because I'm at my in-laws' house who are all big Alabama fans, and I'm just, like, sitting there and watching us get destroyed, which is not fun. And I have to keep my mouth shut because I'm not going to, like, you know, it's just not going to happen. And so then the next time was 2018, and we decided to do a watch party at our apartment. I think you might have come, or at least you were invited, because it was still in the Thrive Days, I think, like, towards the end of the Thrive Days, maybe. But we invited all the friends over because, like, and it was just, like, it was bad. Like, it was all hyped up, and then y'all destroyed us again. And I was so mad at that game. I was so mad. And Courtney, like, afterwards, like, well, tell me about it. I was like, Courtney, you're not going to understand, okay? You are the bane of my existence right now. So, like, after that time, I'm like, we are not watching this game together. Like, either you can go to your parents' house and watch it, or I'll go to my parents' house and watch it. One of us can stay here, or we can both go to our parents' house and watch it. Like, I don't care. We're not doing this again, okay? And the first time was obviously 2019 LSU was the first time that we did this, okay? So all this to say, 2019 happens, the game's over, like, I'm, like, celebrating and everything. Like, she went to her parents' house, so I'm here at the house watching it by myself, and she's there, so she's on her way home, and, like, my parents call me. I think she told me she left before the fourth quarter, or, like, before the game ended, so, like, she was kind of, like, listening to it and watching it on her phone as she's driving back. And, like, she apparently sat in the driveway for, like, 10 minutes after it was over before she walked in the house. So, like, everything's going on, and I'm trying to find my cigar because I'm like, I'm going to light my cigar and go outside and smoke it or whatever. And, like, my parents and sister called me, and we're all yelling and everything. And, like, I'm on the phone with them as she walks in, and I look over, and, like, you know, she's, like, the classical lost fan, super mad and upset, sad thing. And it's like, all right, I gotta, like, yeah, I'm super excited, yeah. Hey, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, it was awesome, right? Like, in a smoked cigar. And then, like, as I'm smoking it, like, y'all remember, like, the little locker room video that came out, you know, and so, like, I'm liking and retweeting all this stuff. And, like, we're getting ready for, like, I wake up in the morning for church, and, like, she confronts me hard, bro. She's like, you like this and roll tide this, well, screw you, and blah, blah, blah. I was like,
Yeah, Courtney.
I'm liking things on social media. Like, we haven't won in, like, forever. Like, give me a break or whatever. So that was kind of my experience with that. It's calmed down a little bit. It's still one of those things where, and Courtney probably understands this, but it's like, I still very much enjoy seeing Alabama struggle and lose, like, so much. It's just so great. But I have to also be, like, the supportive husband that's there for his wife. And very much so, I do care. And I do care that you're sad. Okay? But also, it's like one of those, like, you understand this, Mason. It's one of those conflicting things. It's like, hey, I'm really upset and sad that my wife is sad because her team lost. But I'm also kind of happy that team lost. So it's like one of those conflicting things, you know? So
here's my problem. I had it easy here for a couple years because Becca hated Brian Kelly with a burning passion. Yeah. And so, like, she was cool with it. And so they would lose a game, she would be okay. And I was like, all right, this is awesome. But now she loves Lane Kiffin. And I think she loves Lane Kiffin because he brought back Coach O. And so now it's like, I'm in trouble.
It's going to be on 10 this whole season, Mason. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. Mason, if we have any advice for you, try and find a girl that either doesn't care about football and sports or is a Florida fan, just for your own sanity. Yeah, you find a Georgia fan. You do that.
Dude, no. What are you talking about? I'm not trying to get barked at every Saturday. Bro, that's ridiculous. This is so stupid that they do that. Don't get me started on that. I went to the Bama Georgia game 2008 in Athens, the blackout, the whole thing. I was probably like 11. So a little.
So you were Mason. A little annoying Mason, yeah.
I hadn't quite hit annoying yet. I was right there on the verge. Okay. That game might have tipped me over the edge. I'm not totally sure. But I was in there 11, and this probably 40-year-old mom is sitting there barking at me the entire game. And I'm like, lady, check the scoreboard. And she still just kept barking at me.
Well, we lost Preston here for a second. He'll join back when he can. But, man, he needs to be here for this next thing that we're going to go after. But, yeah, so it's great. It's great. Listen, everybody says when you're a Bama fan, like, the obvious answer, I feel like, is Auburn as your biggest rival. Is it actually Auburn that you dislike the most, or is it Georgia or Tennessee or whoever? Like, who is it for you?
It's Auburn, but it's a weird Auburn, if that makes any sense. Like, I think as a Bama fan, you're just supposed to hate them, and I think most Alabama fans do. But I don't really know how to explain it. because I'll put it this way. If Auburn had a great season, 2 losses all the way up to the Alabama game, that's what I want every single year. Because I want to rip their heart out of their chest every single year at the very end of the season. And I'm okay with that. But second on the list is pretty easily Tennessee for me. I just can't stand Tennessee, man.
What's wrong with Tennessee?
Tennessee has that holier than thou type of mindset. Like they're the
Really?
Greek god. I do, 100%. And it's only because they
They're
had
like the
Peyton
most
Manning.
hillbilly people ever, man. What do you
That's what
mean?
I'm saying. They think they're God's gift to college football just because they had Peyton Manning for a couple years. Every time they're sitting there playing Rocky Top nonstop. Get out of here with that. Tennessee, my goodness. I don't know. It's just I'm supposed to hate Auburn, and I really hate Auburn. But like Tennessee makes me angrier. If that makes any sense.
I love
The thing
that.
about Auburn
so
is when we lose to Auburn, it's always heartbreaking. It's always something so stupid.
well, that's kind of been the way it's been for like the past 10 years on both sides, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong.
Besides like the
Bigger
one-offs
players.
where Auburn gets
It's-
destroyed, because they don't ever destroy y'all. It's just y'all destroy Auburn, and then it's like close. Do you break Auburn's heart at the last second, or does Auburn break your heart at the last second? You know, it's kind of one of those things.
It's an every other year thing because when it's at
It's
Brandon,
in a
it's
certain
fine.
it's in a certain stadium. Yes,
Yeah, the curse.
some sort of voodoo that's going on. So where does Texas A&M fit in the list?
I have zero thoughts about Texas A&M.
Okay.
They never cross my mind on hate because I'm just like, you're gonna lose 4 games every year. You got lucky last year because you sat there and you played a dog garbage schedule, and then you were fine. They played 1.5 good teams last year. And then they lost the one.
What's the half?
Notre Dame.
Okay.
Notre Dame's a half. But that was
Did
on
they
the
lose
road,
to
so-
Texas?
Yeah, they lost to Texas. That was their one.
It's Oh, okay.
But other than that, dude, they played the weakest. I'm about to pull this up. They played the weakest SEC schedule I've ever seen in my life on the internet.
Listen, the only thing is that the one thing that I can ever be grateful for A&M, the one thing, is that they got Brian Kelly fired. That's the one thing that I will be ever grateful for is them. Is that so? Which is the craziest thing ever. That whole story of what went down. It was basically decided by the end of the game. It started at halftime, and it's like, all right, let's do it.
All right, listen to this.
I'm all right with it.
Stop me when you find a good SEC game. Now, this is last
From
year.
last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
They played Auburn at home. They played Mississippi State at home. They played Florida at home. That's 3 in a row, by the way. Then they went to Arkansas. Then they went to LSU.
No, he sucked.
Then they went to Missouri. So they were playing at Missouri, which that one could be okay. But
That's
caveat,
pretty decent.
They
They didn't have their quarterback though.
coming off a bye.
I'm pretty sure Missouri didn't have their quarterback either.
No, I think
their quarterback got hurt.
Yeah, he broke his leg by then. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they played South Carolina at home, and then the last one, Texas. Yeah,
How could he be so fortunate?
yeah. So get that out of here. That's what I said. 1.5 good games, and they lost one of them.
All right, so we have our rookie podcasty back after his phone died. So he's
Some
back
technical
now,
difficulties.
with us.
You didn't have
and
to
now we're
tell
gonna
him
finish
that,
out this
man.
episode.
Come on. Dadgummit.
No, you had to tell him. You had to tell him.
Throw the
Had
shoe.
to.
Just throw the
Got
shoe.
it. Throw the
Throw
shoe.
the shoe.
Oh, it's
Okay,
great.
are we bringing
It's
it
great.
up? Are we bringing it up? No, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it since we brought it up.
Forever love
Since we
Marco
brought it
Wilson.
up.
Forever love it.
Since we brought it
Forever
up.
love him.
My phone's got 24% battery life, all right? We got time. Don't worry. Okay.
What was his number? Was his number 24?
Number 3. Number 3.
I think actually
Dude,
it was
that
3.
is-
it was number 3.
It is seared into
25
my brain.
yards down the
Trust
field or
me.
whatever it was.
Trust me. Who was the tight end? That's the
greatest
question.
thing
It was a 3rd and 15 or something. He tackles
I
the dude,
forgot
grabs
who
his
it
cleat,
was. I
throws
think
it
it was Mason
literally
Taylor.
halfway across the field. Oh, jeez.
It's greatest
I remember
thing.
watching that whole game. I'm sitting here. I'm like, we're going to lose. We keep playing like this.
And you did. It was great. Through the fog and everything. The shoe game. It's great. So here, listen, let's transition. We've kind of gone back and forth at each other for a good bit of this episode, and that's what's here to come. I mean, that's why we're here. But let's maybe have a common enemy here for the last 10 to 15 minutes. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, okay? And Mason, you will be able to vouch for me to everybody. I am not the root for the conference guy ever. I don't care. I think it's dumb. But the Big Ten is getting on my nerves, okay?
Dude.
This is the most petty thing. The most, like... Listen, we'll show the tweet up on the screen whenever I edit this, okay? But I did make a post on X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it today on our X account, okay, at the SAT Rivals, okay? And, you know, it was the quote from Brett Bielema today that says, quote, "They want to live in 2005 forever," end quote, talking about the SEC. And what I said was, this dude who went 29-34, 11-29 in conference play when coaching in the SEC, but he continues to try and dunk on the conference, okay? And then before all that happened, you know, all of these pictures are coming out of, Big Ten Media Day starting. They literally have all three of their 3 straight championship trophies lined up next to the podium. And I made a tweet about this too, and I'll put it up there. The insecurities of this conference is astounding. It's astounding. So, would you ever think that the SEC would trot out their 6 national championship trophies across like 3 different formats or whatever it was this past years? Do you think they would ever do that ever at an SEC Media Days? No. You know why? Because we all hate each other, and we're not going to just let you borrow our national championship trophies because we have some chip on our shoulder because, you know, the other conference is evil because they, you know, curb stomped us for 3 decades. You know, like, what are we doing here, okay?
Look, they're just on their high horse right now. They won 3 national championships, and of course, the coach at Illinois is going to try and claim that and start throwing shade. I mean, you're at Illinois. What are you doing, dog? I mean, that's like bottom tier school you could be at. Just start talking trash.
Yeah, I remember a time, I think it was from 06 to 2012, where there was a certain conference that dominated the sport. So I love that they have their last 3 national titles all lined up because they got to get 4 more to catch up to us. But anyway, yeah, the Brett Bielema comments are ridiculous. This dude, like you said, couldn't win a bowl game at Arkansas. All right, it doesn't matter what you did at Illinois for, a year, and then you got the doors blown off of you by Indiana last year. That's all anybody remembers you for. So I really don't know what to say about the Big Ten at this point. Yes, you've had Michigan, Ohio State, and Indiana win. Congrats. You're finally stepping up to where people expect you to be, which is winning national championships. You're one of the top 2 conferences in college football, and you're number 2. Let's just make that clear, okay? You're number 2.
Listen, all right, I did some research on this, so I would have notes to go off of this. Since the 1980s, in regards to decades here, the Big Ten in decades, every year or every decade, even dating back before the 1980s, has a losing record against the SEC. For the full decade, they have a losing record to the SEC. Okay, in the 1980s, the SEC was 17-5-1. In the 1990s, the SEC was 16-11. In the 2000s, they were 18-15. In the 2010s, 29-17. And so far in the 2020s, which we're not done yet, the SEC is still winning, by the way, 19-17. And this is including even since the dawn of the thought of meaningless bowl games, and we're still beating you, okay? Listen, the thing that probably drives me the most crazy is this whole conversation of, we beat the SEC in bowl season. Since when does anybody really care about regular bowl season? When has anybody ever cared No, like, everybody has called these meaningless bowl games for at least a decade now. At least. And now the Big Ten is trying to pump up. You know what their regular season record against the SEC was? There was only 3 games against the SEC this year. Do you know what their record was against the SEC in the regular season?
Oklahoma was one of them, so that was an O. I'm gonna go 0-3. Why not?
They were 1-2. Okay, the only win was Ohio State beating Texas week 1, 14-7. 14-7. Okay, a close game. Arch's first game. Ohio State's defense, like, it was ugly. Okay, the other 2 games, Mason, I don't know how you didn't remember this. Alabama destroys Wisconsin 38-14, and Oklahoma beats Michigan 24-13. Not even close. Okay, the year before that was last year.
Yep.
That was 2025.
That was last year.
Yep, 2024. Okay, the SEC and the regular season was 3-1 in 2024 in the regular season. 3-1. The one loss was week 1 LSU USC. And do we really count USC as a Big Ten? I mean, really? Come on. But it was week 1. LSU lost 27-20 against USC. All the other ones, LSU beat UCLA, so he beat one. Okay, 34-17. Alabama beat Wisconsin 42-10, and Texas beat Michigan 31-12 in the regular season in 2024. Okay. The only game, there were 2 postseason games that actually meant anything in 2024, so I'm not counting the LiaQuest Bowl or the Citrus Bowl or the Las Vegas Bowl or the Music City Bowl. We're not counting any of that crap, okay? Because nobody cares. Nobody cares, okay? The Big Ten won both of the playoff games. They beat Tennessee. Ohio State beat Tennessee 42-17 in the first round of trashing, right? And then Ohio State beat Texas in the semifinal 28-14. Those are your 2.
You're missing one.
Oh, yeah, Michigan beat Alabama.
Yep.
Wait, what? In 2024? Why does it say we're
Yes.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was the LiaQuest Bowl. Yeah, I think it was either that or the Citrus Bowl. I can't remember which one, but yeah.
We're thinking 2023 of the semifinal. I don't care about that one.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about this last season.
This last season, okay, we had Alabama get throttled by Indiana. We're going to talk about that maybe next week, Mason, okay? You are the bane of our existence in bowl season this year, but that was the one, like, important postseason game. Like, I don't care about the Citrus Bowl. I don't care about the LiaQuest Bowl. I don't care about the Music City Bowl. Like, we won one of those. I don't care. I don't count that. I don't care. Games that matter, regular season games and playoff games are the only ones that matter, and those are the only ones which should count. But I don't care. We still have a winning record against the Big Ten. And I think the other thing that drives me crazy is, I don't know if you've seen these comments online about any time the SEC is brought up. Oh, well, now that everybody can pay players, now the SEC isn't as good. You mean to tell me that Ohio State and Michigan just now started paying players?
Yeah, you didn't get the memo?
Just now, the 12-team playoff. Yeah. They just started, like, they just now? Preston, they just now start paying for players?
A little birdie told me this has been going on, but I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't think the SEC.
What are we talking about?
I don't think the SEC invented going under the table. Let's just make it that. All right.
But no, we were the only ones playing players. Listen, now that paying players is okay, now the Big Ten is good. Like, no, shut your mouth. All right. You've had 3 teams that have been good enough to win chips. The rest of your conference is trash. It's trash. Nobody cares about bowl games. Nobody cares.
Can we just bring up the fact that they had Northwestern make it to the Big Ten championship at least like 2 years?
Northwestern.
I mean,
just imagine Vanderbilt.
Let's just think about that for a second.
Championship game.
I mean, that realistically is what that was. Yeah, Northwestern making the Big Ten title game. Unbelievable. In any world where Northwestern is making it to a conference championship game, unbelievable.
Hey, you know what Northwestern has that Ole Miss doesn't? They've actually been to a conference championship game.
Oh, end it on that. End it.
That's going to be a deep one. That's a deep dig right there. Oh, man.
End it. End it.
All right. I think we're done with that one. That's a good one to hang out, to end on. Appreciate you guys for listening. We will be back next week with another episode. And until then, we will catch you guys on the next one.